Paul, did you have an iPod? You did? What was your favorite song or group on it? Talk Talk? Great. Was that a song or a group? Okay. Both. You mean the song was named Talk Talk and the group was named Talk Talk? All right. Don't get mad. All you do is talk. Welcome to another episode of the Mighty Code Coder. I'm Rob Fitzgerald, here to make you great and help you innovate. Are you okay? In this episode, we're going to once again talk about class composition in a lesson originally done by Mr. Liu. This lesson will concentrate on how data is transferred between classes using not an array, but an array list. Going back to the Husky Tech media player that I described in the last video, it is easy to make a player when you know how many movies are going to be in it. You just add the movies to the array and you're set. But what if you didn't know how many movies were going to be in the player? What about deleting some? Remember the out of bound errors that you get with arrays? Adding and removing items to the player could get messy with an array. There has to be something, and there is. ArrayList. ArrayList would let me hand off the HTMP to another person to fill it up with as many movies as they want. They would then be able to remove movies without getting out of bounds errors. This is an important topic, so let's get going. Let's set up our AWS console and log into Cloud9. All right, before we do that, let's go back to that Husky Tech player and make sure you understand how that worked. So I had 3 buttons and I had one player. I had one player object. Okay, it's a class. My player was a class, and it was responsible for loading in classes of movies, okay, or an array of movies, okay. And so a MOOC, okay, created these movie objects, create a button for each movie object, all right, and actually populated the movie player with these movies that I could teach my students certain things, okay. All right, so if I go into my MOOC, that was one. I could go into student projects, all right, and click in stuff like this, all right, and it would populate. You see, one had 19. Now we have 20 different movies. And then it'd be nice if you give this to someone, another teacher or someone who wants to display their movies, and then they could always put it up and not have to worry about, oh, well, I only have 10 movies, but it was written for 21, see? So they don't have to have the same amount of movies. So an array list lets us be flexible like that. So that's what we want to go off of, okay? This one, the VAPA one, had none. It just had one giant movie playing all my department's projects. All right, so it didn't have any buttons, but it'd be funny if it would have null, 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 null all the way down because it didn't have 21. All right, so let's go into Cloud9 and let's show you how ArrayList work. Before we do that, let's continue talking about how an array can be inefficient or it could give you that out of bounds errors. Okay, so this is the MyPod class that I created in the last video, and here are the song lists. If I go ahead and run that, let me go ahead and run this to see what we have so far, just to remind everyone out there what it looks like. Okay, there it is. So I had a white iPod with 3 nulls because I didn't put any songs in it. Okay, and then I had a blue one, and I put 2 songs. Well, in this situation, I only put 2 songs, but remember, I made the array for 3. If you go up here, it's an array of 3. See that? And so if you don't put all 3 songs in, it will give you a null. All right. So that's if I did this. But you don't want a null. Remember, go back to the Husky Tech Player. Would you want a null button? That would look really silly. All right, what if I put too many? Let's put too many now. Let's put an extra song in there. Okay, so I'll actually add this one. Let's add a fourth song. All right, make this 3, and we'll call this one Billie Jean. All right, and I'll save that, and then let's go ahead and compile it. Now, some people say, well, it's really hard to type back and forth between these files, but if you just go up arrow on your keyboard, it goes to your previous commands. Remember that. And I could do the whole thing without typing anything. Go back to my other one. I could compile it, look for my javac or javac, okay, command. All right, go right back to cd to my classes. Oops, sorry, didn't cd. That's what I want to run. I want to Java it. I got to cd over to my class. I'm trying to do this without any typing, okay? And sometimes, if you're depending on how typer you are, maybe you could type faster than do that. Okay, so there's the error because I only made it a 3 array and I put 4 in. So if I gave that player to somebody else and they had more or less movies, you got problems. You have to have something that's a little bit more fluid. Okay, and so that's the out of bounds. There it is right there, the out of bounds exception here. See that? See this right here? Okay. All right. So let's change this and let's make this an array list. All right. And in order to do that, an array list is a class that doesn't come just with the original download of Java. It's actually another package, so you actually have to import it. So you import java.util.ArrayList. Okay, so that'll import that package, so you could use the ArrayList. And now instead of doing the array like this, we will now do a private ArrayList. And then you have to you have to say what type of data is going to be in it. Remember what's going to be in our array list. We're going to have my song classes or objects in it. So I'll say my song. All right. And then we're going to name the array list. Okay. And the name of the array list could be the same as the array song list. And what's great about that is now I won't have to change my toString. My toString. Okay, so here is this one. So again, we want to comment these ones out and create our own. We want to now instantiate. I think I forgot to put a semicolon here. All right, let's instantiate. Let's not. So that declares the song list on the MyPod player. Okay, and so now we're going to go ahead and create my songs in the MyPod. Okay, so we're not doing this on the stack. We're still on the heap here. All right, so it's going to look something like this. The array list, got to say what type it is. My songs are in there. Okay, and end it with something like that. Okay, so that look good. Okay. All right, now we need to do this in both of our constructors. So I'm going to copy this, and instead of using this one here, I'm going to actually use this one. Now here's where things change a little bit, okay? So this is how we added songs to an array, but this is how we're going to add them to an array list. So what I want to do is get rid of all those, and I want to show you how we add songs. So we're going to go this song list, and we use dot notation, and we're going to use the word add, and then in the parameters we're going to create a new song or instantiate a new song. Okay, so new my song, and then how did we instantiate a my song? Remember, we had to put the title. Okay, and we put it took 2 parameters. 5. Okay, so don't stop believing 5, and we close the my song instantiation, and then we close the add. All right, so there we go. There you go. Now, to save time a little bit, I'll just copy and paste these. And we'll just do 3 to start with. Put in here Stairway to Heaven. And then put in here Saturday Night. Okay, so there I created an array list. I added 3 songs to it. And down here, I don't even have to change anything because it's still going through an array of song list. All right, so that looks pretty good. All right, I don't have to modify it at all, and I can just run it and see. Let's see how it comes out. All right, let me make sure I zoom in for you guys on the iPhones. And let's clear this. All right, and let's zoom in a little bit more. Let's make sure you guys can really see this. All right, so I'm going to CD back to my environment. I'm going to go ahead and go up arrow for my Java C command. There it is. All right, no errors. Thank you. All right, classes. And then let's go ahead and Java the MyPod driver. There it is. All right. Oh, it looks like what's it look like? Now you can troubleshoot. Once you make these errors, then you can troubleshoot yourself real easy. It looks like I still have the old one loaded, okay? Because remember I ended with the out of bounds. So probably means what? I didn't save it. So there's that gray dot. So if on the keyboard, you can just go Command S. Command S. All right, now it's saved, and I got to kind of go back through that again. All right, so CD, and let's go ahead and do my Java C command. There it is. So it's not too bad. Classes, and I could probably type it better. I can just go back, okay? MyPod driver, and hit return, and then there you go. There's your array list. Okay, so it works real nice. All right. All right. What? What? I'm making you dizzy? Okay, I get it. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll slow it down a little bit. All right, so with an array list, it looks pretty much the same. So something in the back end is going on, but not the front end. Okay, so you can't really tell too much of a difference, but it's nicer because now we could add or remove, which let's do that now. All right, so if we just add another one to it, you could tell that we could be doing this all night with no problems. And we could just put in Billie Jean here. Okay, save it. Make sure you save it. Okay, put Billie Jean, save. All right, come down here. Let's clear this. Let's zoom in. And CD. Go my Java C. You really just want to do the up arrow for the long ones like the Java C. You don't want to be typing that a lot, but you could really easily do this one really fast. And then Java. The only problem with this was maybe you don't remember the name of it. All right, so there it is, and it now has Billie Jean. Okay, so that's how easy it is. And then let's try to remove one also. Okay, so you know how to add. Let's go ahead and remove one. And one other thing I want to go over too is I want to show you how to get the length. All right, because you can loop the array real easy with the array.length, but now this one's a little bit different. So it's size. So let's actually go in here and add another string here. Let's actually, all right, in here, let's add to this output statement. And let's go the size of my array list is with a space, and let's go, what's the name of the array list? It's songlist.size. So that might come up on an AP exam where you're going to loop the array and you don't put size, you put length, and that'll dock you points. So make sure when you use an array list, you go songlist.size. Okay, and then let's go I think I'm just going to close this. Actually, let's add a space or a return, and then let's close it. All right, and then come down here. Let's clear it. Didn't save it. Okay, so that time I caught myself. Okay, you'll start getting used to it. I'm just hitting Command S on the keyboard. All right, and then let's go in here, classes, CD, back to my other one, and let's go Javac. I call it Javac. I don't know if people call it Java C or Javac. I call it Javac. Okay, CD back to classes, and let's go to the Java command. There it is, and there we go. My array list, the size of my array list is 4. Okay, right there, right there. All right, so that's another thing you could use. And then the last thing I want to show you about ArrayList is I want you to be able to remove one. All right, so if I want to remove, I might come up here right after Billie Jean, and I might say this dot song list, and using dot technology, instead of putting add, I could hit remove. And then you actually tell it what index you want to remove. So let's do 0. All right. And that should get rid of this first song, Don't Stop Believing. So I'm going to save that. Go down here, clear it. Let's zoom in, make sure people on iPhones can see. Change directory back to my environment. Java C it, or Javac. Oops, look how I spelt remover. That's not good. So let's get rid of that. Save it, come back here, again, CD. Let's actually CD back to environment. All right, let's go to Javac. CD to my classes. Let's go ahead and run my Java. And you'll see now, zoom out, zoom back in, and I'm missing the first Don't Stop Believing. Stairway to Heaven is now 0. It bumps up, and I'm going to go over the board and we'll show you what it looks like on your stack and heap memory, just so that you could get the picture down in your head. Okay, so let's try it. Let's go over there and see. Okay, so on the board, I have the stack and heap memory. Remember, it's still a car pod, and the car pod will go ahead and do a pointer reference to this object called mypod. Remember what mypod does? It has a color and a song list, and it had a song list array, but now it has a song list array song list array list. Okay, and it has 3 places to start. If we added a 4 by using dot add. Okay, so now there's a 4, 0 through 3 is 4. And another one was created. Let's create another one here when it does it. Okay, so whenever you add, it creates a new song. And it has the title and the rating. Okay. So you now, and my last video was a little bit broken up because I had them going in, but really these point to references. Okay, that points to that one, that points to that one, here, and then this points to this one. So those are pointer references. All right. So it was interesting because we removed 0. All right. So what happens when you remove 0? All right. So let's get the 0 out of there, or does the whole thing get interrupted? Then what happens to this reference? This reference gets deleted. And then if the reference gets deleted, it automatically has automatic garbage collection. So this whole object gets deleted. So you no longer have Don't Stop Believing. All right. Now these don't stay 1, 2, 3, this gets converted to 0, so it goes that way. Okay, this is now 1, and this is now 2. Okay, that seems like an AP type question, right? So remember that. Okay, so that's when you remove, and they bump everything that way. All right. So now we have 3 with 3 pointer references to my song objects, and that's how it works. Okay, so that's an array list. Okay, dot add gets put on over here. Okay, if I use dot add, and if I use dot remove, I always say which one I want to remove. And let's say, for instance, let's say if we removed 1. What would happen to this? Okay, so this one gets removed. Okay, this reference gets removed. All right, this object gets removed. Okay, and everything gets shoved this way for the remove. Okay, so 2 and 3 now become 1 and 2. Okay, so that kind of gets moving. So just remember, when we remove, everything gets shoved this way. When we add, depending where we add, also you could add anywhere in here, things get shoved that way. Okay, so that is my stack and heap memory board talk here. And let's go back and let's finish this up. All right, so that's everything. Okay, so you can now have ArrayList. You can add and remove, and you also can get the dot size of the ArrayList. All right, and everything looks really good. If you remember the driver, if you want to remember what the driver looked like, it was very simple. I didn't have to change any of that. To change from array to ArrayList, I didn't have to change any of the driver stuff. It all works still. Okay, so my pod. Okay, here is the toString. Don't forget, this was the my song file. Okay. All right. And this was the song driver, which we didn't end up using, right? We didn't actually use the driver. Actually, the thing that the program we just did only does my pod driver, my pod, and my song, which gets instantiated from my pod. Okay. And so I think that does it for this episode. Hope you enjoy it. Remember, always trying to make you great and help you innovate. So until next time, Paul, what should they? Oh, make sure if you have questions, leave comments below or go to the website at www.themightycodecoder.com or find me on Twitter at mightycodecoder. Thank you for watching.